So using this random number generation mechanism, let's test the insert the function. So we don't need this part. It's rand. So what I want to do is as follows. In list test, let's append the first data 0, and then vector we have a push back function which is append the data. So on list implementation of a mine test, and then from the library vector we begin with the same data. Then using a loop is 1, so I've used the 0 already, 1 up to n, 1 less n, so we do n times of the loop. And then occasionally let's insert the data at the very beginning at position 0, also at the end, and then mostly let's insert in a random position. So what I want to do is if I modulus 50 is 0, so every 50 times what I want to do is a test and then insert at the very front, data I is inserted. So I need to do same thing. In a vector library, we don't have such insert function call. So we need to design a function insert into V, the given vector. So here we have defined the vector over here. So in this vector, I'm going to insert at position 0 data I. So let's define insert the v function. So void insert a v function. First argument is a vector integer type, and that we want to pass a reference v, and then position, and then data is there. So how to insert data into a vector is first you need to get an iterator. So what's happening on the vector is as follows. So vector is a flexible library. So you have data, something like a flexible array. So the size grows automatically as you add more data and the like. But to have access or to insert data, we need something called iterator. So iterator is another object outside the vector actual storage, and this is called the iterator. The iterator has a pointer to the element. Once you get the position of the first element, you can move through the storage and the vector storage. And then insert function of the vector is defined by the iterator. So where the iterator is pointing, and at that location you can insert the data. So that's a vector. So what you need to do is we need to get the iterator. So iterator type is an inner class type. So vector class has one of the inner class is name is iterator. So I can get the iterator of the vector v by calling begin function. So as I call begin function, I get the iterator, and then iterator is pointing to the very first object in the data in this vector array. So that's the one. And then to insert a certain position, you need to move the iterator through the elements. So that is a plus plus operator of the iterator is doing for that purpose. So using a loop, I need to move through the vector array in pause times. So plus plus it looks like increment. As I do plus plus, the pointer is moving to the next and so on. Then by moving pause times, each ray is pointing to a certain location. We wanna add the data. Then V has a insert function. At this location of the iterator, you can now store data. So that's how to insert the data into a vector object. So this is the function definition. So we need to give the prototype at the very beginning. So at the very beginning, let's give a prototype. We don't need a parameter name, so this should be fine and the like. Now, using this insert the v function, we can insert a data at the desired position there. And every 50 times, let's try to insert the data at the very end of the insert the function. So what we are doing here is that in slist implementation, inserter, you can have a append at the very end or at position 0 or in between two nodes. So our tester should test all possible cases. Those are being tested. So at the very 0 position and at the very end, what you can do is a test inserter function. At the very end means a test at size. So that's how to append. So if I have 5 data, the last index should be 4, but adding at the 5, index 5 means append the data. Then vector has a pushback function, so you can insert append the data at the very end by a vector's pushback function. So else, let's generate the position randomly. Insert the position. Valid position is random number is generated. Then we take modulus of size. Since we are okay to append at the very end as well, so this is some f is either modulus of size plus 1, then the one of the numbers is simply append something like pushback functions there. Okay. So randomly generate the valid range. So here insert the function. The valid range is 0 and pos is equal to count. So modulus means this one less of this number is a valid remainder part. So what you get is from 0 to size. That's the random position we generate. Then insert into position data I. Then for the vector, insert in this vector position I is there. Our insert V is there. So once we finish randomly inserting data, let's verify that. List has this size, and then assert that from the list get I should be the same as a VI. It's a vector class we can use as if it's an array using square bracket notation. So we have done the same operation on list and vector concurrently. Then we can compare those two structures. Then we can verify the functionality of insert. So let's compile and run. So testing is done.